parting ways. After 6 years at the helm, the head of the Reese's Senior Bowl is out. The reason for the unexpected turn of events.
A noisy neighbor.
Our beautiful community was going to get destroyed.
Folks thought one development was coming to their historic neighborhood, but later learned it's something entirely different. What's coming that has folks feeling like they've been duped.
Showing pride and support. Hundreds of service members are visiting the Gulf Coast. How one organization, along with the help of one city, is helping give the gift of time.
All right, go ahead, get set.
Do you have what it takes to be a part of Mobile's finest? We take you inside the grueling training our officers endure to help keep you safe.
NBC 15 News at 6 starts now. And we begin with a reality check tonight. A potentially noisy new neighbor has people in Midtown Mobile pretty worried.
A developer wants to build a car wash right across the street from Sage Park on the old Graff Dairy Farm property, a huge span of undeveloped land right along Dolphin Street. NBC 15's Nicole Fierro has this exclusive story.
Nicole, the Planning Commission is expected to make a decision next week.
Well, Greg and Kim, I want you to listen to this noise. Now try to imagine that multiplied by 36. Residents in Midtown say they can't think of a situation where that doesn't suck. Cromwell Place residents planted roots in this Midtown cul-de-sac for a reason.
It's been a tranquil area and we've loved it here. Our kids went to school in this area.
It's just a nice, quiet cul-de-sac.
This quiet community is now taking a loud stance against a new development proposal in their backyards for a car wash with 36 vacuum stalls.
I'm just envisioning a lot of noise from the vacuums.
The possible flooding being worse. The traffic will be horrendous. It's already horrendous on Dolphin Street. It's difficult to get out of our neighborhood.
Residents say they knew the private lot had been sold and zoned commercial years ago, but the initial plan was for a bank, not a car wash. They fear this type of business will suck the soul out of their historic community, leaving them feeling
Betrayed, snookered, you know. Somebody wasn't up front with this issue.
City planning officials tell me today the fate of this property is not yet vacuum sealed.
The Planning Commission heard loudly and clearly their concerns, and as a result of that, I think there was a desire to obtain additional information.
Commissioners are requesting more information on how and when this car wash will operate. They've also called on engineers and experts for more about the possible impacts on neighboring properties, traffic, and future development on the rest of the old Graff Dairy Farm lot, still up for sale.
To anybody in the city, would you want a 36-stall car wash built in your backyard? I think the answer is no. Nobody would want to.
And I hope this sound isn't too annoying, but this is what residents fear they're going to have to listen to all the time in their homes. Now, the next Planning Commission meeting, that's going to be on the 17th. And these concerned residents, the developers, anyone can go before the commission and voice their opinions on this matter before any vote is made. But a vote could be made on this very situation on the 17th. Reporting live in Mobile, Nicole Fierro, NBC 15 News.
Nicole, thanks. Breaking news we are continuing to follow. Phil Savage is out as the Senior Bowl's executive director. The bombshell news came this afternoon for the man who's been at the helm since 2012. NBC 15 Sports Director Lance Crawford joins us live. Lance, nobody saw this coming.
No, that's absolutely right, Greg. It's a stunner. Phil Savage was named executive director of the Senior Bowl 6 years ago this month. During that time, he'd made a number of changes to the game and how the game presented itself in the community. But today, the Mobile Arts and Sports Association, the organization that runs the bowl, announced that it and Savage have mutually agreed to part ways beginning Tuesday. The Senior Bowl has, of course, been played annually in Mobile since 1951. It's outlived numerous other college football all-star games. This past year, 6 Senior Bowl players were first-round NFL draftees, including the top overall pick, Baker Mayfield. And Savage, as for his NFL ties, they go back 25 years. In a statement today, the Senior Bowl said the national exposure and reputation of the Reese's Senior Bowl has greatly benefited from Phil's energy, creativity, and leadership. Today's announcement also rippling throughout football. Longtime NFL reporter Chris Mortensen tweeting out, a bunch of NFL teams are disappointed to learn that Phil Savage and the Senior Bowl are mutually parting ways. As executive director, Phil did indeed take the game to a higher level the past 6 years. So, Greg, Kim.
All right, Lance, thanks. Now, what do you think about Phil Savage's departure or anything else that's bothering you for that matter? Give us a call at 855-VOICE-15 or send us your video comments to burst.com/MyNBC15. We want your best 15 seconds as well as your name, where you're calling from, first name, and you may hear your voice right here on NBC 15 News.
A crime alert for Conecuh County, where a former sheriff's investigator is accused of stealing from the Fraternal Order of Police. The Bruton Standard newspaper reports a grand jury indicted Michael Emmons on theft and ethics violation charges, among others. Prosecutors say Emmons forged checks from the Conecuh FOP account. The newspaper reports Emmons resigned from his position.
Well, check this out. It looks like the real thing, doesn't it? It landed a student in Okaloosa County, Florida in big-time trouble. According to the Northwest Florida Daily News, a student was spotted with what looked like a gun on a middle school bus yesterday. The police were called in. Turns out it is a cigarette lighter belonging to a 14-year-old student. The investigation continues.
In tonight's Project Education, we focus on teacher pay raises and the struggles most teachers go through just to equip their classrooms. In Alabama, the state will soon give teachers a 2.5% pay raise. In Baldwin County, the school board now has plans to add another 2.5%. This could soon make educators there the highest paid in the state. But is it enough? NBC 15's James Gordon has more.
The Baldwin County School Board will vote on this 5% across-the-board increase tomorrow night. But it's now for teachers that it's really setting in.
Teachers, we don't take defeat. We don't take defeat.
Teachers in other states like Oklahoma have taken to the streets, protesting, asking for better pay. Not here, at least not in Baldwin County.
For the third largest system in the state of Alabama to be salary-wise competing with systems that receive far more millage, county and city, I just think it's remarkable. It's just remarkable. And Baldwin County is where you want to be.
Teachers like Marilyn Lentine, a 26-year veteran, have seen the ups and downs and are thankful for the raise, but the $500 a year they get for classroom supplies doesn't always go far enough.
You only get a certain amount of money, and things cost a lot of money, especially when you have 24 or 25 children in the classroom. It adds up quickly.
Some teachers turn to websites like donorschoose.org to make up the difference, asking the public to fund the extra things they need. In most cases, money raised here is matched by corporate sponsors.
But you can use it only for things that have to do with the children's learning, using for reading or math.
Yes.
Terry Burkle heads the Baldwin County Education Coalition, which dispersed more than $100,000 to teachers for supplies and educational programs this year. The coalition tries to get grants to help the lower income communities like Foley, Robertsdale, and Bay Minette.
So we as a coalition have been submitting grants to help support those communities in this county that, have a little more of a challenge raising significant amount of funds.
Over the years, the state has given teachers small pay raises statewide, and that many times has been offset by the increase in health insurance premiums. But at least this time in Baldwin County, teachers get to keep it all. In Baldwin County, James Gordon, NBC 15 News.
Governor Kay Ivey is taking jabs at her opponents in the upcoming gubernatorial race. The move comes after 3 GOP primary opponents released doctor statements calling for Ivey to do the same. Opponents in the past raised questions about the 73-year-old's health ahead of the June primary. Ivey called the move a publicity stunt. Well, today, she is responding with a doctor's statement of her own reading. In part, Governor Kay Ivey has had physicals for the past 15 years, and she is in excellent health. It goes on to say, I see no medical issues that would prevent her from fulfilling her obligations as governor. You can read the entire statement on our website, mynbc15.com. An exercise was held today to help prepare in the event of a mass evacuation along the Gulf Coast.
Let's hope we don't have to use it. The Alabama Department of Transportation partnered with ALEA to hold a contraflow exercise.
It happened earlier today, spanning from Baldwin County all the way to Montgomery. Today's exercise was so important to practice a safe, timely, and organized evacuation.
Exercises like these certainly come in handy with hurricane season just around the corner, don't they, Chris?
Yeah, absolutely. Just in case. And I want to show you the list of names because hurricane season 2018 is just around the corner, only a few weeks away. Alberto, hey, Chris is on the list this year. Florence, Gordon, Aline, Kirk, Leslie. Right now, the water temperatures are at or right at about 80 degrees out in the central Gulf of Mexico, and it's in this area that we'll look for early season development down into the Caribbean. In fact, there has been run-to-run consistency from one of our extended computer forecast models developing some sort of a system down here. Now, this is May 18th. This is 9 days away. We're talking 9, 10, 11, 12 days out for the potential of a system developing in the Caribbean and the potential for it to possibly get in the Gulf of Mexico, near Florida, or across the Bahamas. It's way out, but I want to let you know that I'm looking out for you, and we will follow this every step of the way and every potential storm throughout this hurricane season. In our weather headlines, there is a heat streak around here this week, getting more humid, and we are waiting on the rain. I'll let you know when we have some showers in our forecast coming up.
Happening right now, dozens of military families are reconnecting thanks to an initiative providing free vacations to our servicemen and women.
Yeah, it's all happening in Orange Beach, and that's where we find NBC 15's Corey Pippen tonight. Corey, you were there when many of those nation's heroes stepped off the plane ready for some serious R&R with their families.
Greg, Kim, this was absolutely heartwarming to watch as the community rolled out the red carpet for these military members and their families as a thank you for their service. Now, that happened earlier this afternoon. Right now, late check-in has begun, and officials were expecting a lot of families out here. They say in the end, there were dozens. There are bags still awaiting folks that have yet to arrive. We're told they're driving 14 to 15 hours just to get here. Now, realtors as well as homeowners have donated their properties free of charge, and local businesses have also donated meals and other services at no cost. Ryan Charrier, Air Force veteran and Operation Reconnect's founder, said 300 families were invited and around 50 have signed up for the offer. Charrier came up with the idea for Operation Reconnect while deployed in Afghanistan in 2014. Their latest endeavor today gave away vacations to veterans from the 442nd Fighter Wing Unit of the Air Force and their loved ones. Now, I spoke to several families today about what this means to them.
I feel so grateful to have somebody, an organization out here that's looking out for us and wanting to give us our family time and reconnect. And the community of Orange Beach and the Gulf Coast has really came together.
Actually, now I'm told $125,000 to $150,000 in services has been donated so far. This is just one of the many ways Operation Reconnect is doing that fundraising. A raffle has been set up for this sweet looking Jeep right here with a ton of aftermarket parts. Now, ask anyone, they'll tell you our military men and women deserve this and much more for their sacrifices. Now, I'll have much more coming up tonight at 9 and 10 o'clock on this. Make sure and tune in. Reporting live in Orange Beach, I'm Corey Pippen, NBC 15 News.
Corey, thanks. And for more information on the raffle and for the project, just go to our website, NBC15.com. NBC 15 is honoring our veterans, and we need your help. We're saluting the local men and women who served our country in the military. Please share your favorite pictures of a veteran. We also need his or her name, rank, branch, and years of service and hometown. Send it all to veterans@mynbc15.com. We're going to brag about our veterans each and every weeknight during our 10 o'clock news. It takes guts and determination to be a first responder.
And coming up, we're going to show you just how much goes in to be a part of Mobile's finest. We're saluting our first responders.
We have been documenting here for years what a key role our first responders play in our communities, and there is always a need for new blue blood. Tonight, we follow along with 20 Mobile police recruits who hope to someday serve and protect.
But if you fall off, you got to come back to the beginning of it and start all over again.
It all begins here on a hot May morning. 20 or so aspiring police officers
Come on around the corner.
will soon find out if they have what it takes.
Come around the cone. If you don't go around the cone, I'm going to send you back. Come around.
The challenge is simple enough.
Guys, tuck the shirts in.
This time around.
All right, go ahead. Get set. Begin.
22 push-ups, a little easier when you know what's on the line.
I love what they stand for. I love what they represent. So I wanted to be a member of that team.
And it is an elite team, sworn to protect this community. Before they wear that badge, though,
Get up, get up, get up.
they'll go through 520 hours of law enforcement training here at the Academy.
Dig in, dig in, dig in.
Both physical and mental training.
Drop. Okay? Yeah.
It's a combination of both. We try to stress both spectrums just to test that person and see where they are.
Get ready. Go! Keep pushing.
There you go, big dog.
Keep pushing.
There you go, big dog.
Keep pushing. Keep pushing. Go!
I thought the most difficult part of the course was just pushing the car, just for no other reason than you feel like you're back there for a long time, and you know you think that this is like a gag, and they're just like, we'll see how far he can go before we just say go.
Push!
It's very competitive, and some people decide not to finish the training.
On this morning, they pushed and pulled, jumped and dragged their way to the next level.
Good job.
Having passed this agility testing, they have earned the right to officially apply for the police academy.
It's a job that I've wanted to do ever since I was a little kid. I used to go out to Denagall and always see the police officers walking around. And at the same time, I've watched too many episodes of Cops, I think, and just wanted to get a part of the action. So,
The leg over there.
If you're interested in being in law enforcement and serving your community, stop by your local precinct, speak with the precinct commander, request to do a ride along and see what's involved, see if it's something you want to do.
By the way, that was our old pal Sergeant Paul Check putting those recruits through their paces. And if you're interested in protecting our community, check out the Mobile Police Recruiting Facebook page for upcoming dates to apply. Don't forget, if a first responder has made an impact in your life, I want to tell your story. Drop me a message on my Facebook page. Greg Peterson, NBC 15 News.
A photojournalist Melvin Todd and I hit the road early this morning. We spent the day in Bruton and Escambia County. While there, we stopped and chatted with our local law enforcement and our friends over at the Bruton Standard, the local newspaper, and we also met many NBC 15 viewers. Thank you so much, Bruton, for your hospitality.
NBC 15 weather with Chief Meteorologist Chris Dunn.
It was pretty hot in Bruton today. In fact, it was hot all over the place. The number for Mobile is missing, but I just checked in with the National Weather Service. 91, the official high in Mobile today for the second day in a row. So we've hit 90 plus 3 days in a row. We didn't hit 90 until middle of June last year. So we're ahead of schedule. 89 in Pensacola, 89 in Milton, 90 in Atmore, and really it's been a daily battle between when that sea breeze is going to move in from the Gulf of Mexico. You can see Gulf Shores only 86, 86 in Fairhope, and the inland communities at or above 90. Slowly cooling down this evening, 78 at 7, 75 degrees by 8 p.m. And things are getting going for the Hangout Music Fest, Gulf Shores. Here's the Beach Cam live. They're in one of the stages right there. It's, I believe, 9 days away from today. The rip current risk for the next 3 days, moderate, and then back to a low rip current risk at our area beaches on Saturday. But always be mindful of what flags are flying on the beach where you are. And at the beach on Thursday, 85 degrees, more of that high heat. It'll be hotter inland before that breeze moves in. South wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And again, a moderate risk of rip currents at our area beaches. The forecast for the next 3 days, 88, 89, 88. MyNBC15.com/weather for your forecast anytime you want it. No chance of rain for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And as we get into Sunday, Mother's Day, 10% chance, 20% chance of showers on Monday. The forecast tonight, 64, mainly clear, a warm evening, a quiet evening, 88 tomorrow, more of that high heat, and we will be getting more humid. Started to feel a little bit of that increase in the humidity today. That's only going to get worse. So that makes for great pool weather. High temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. The marine forecast is south wind at 5 to 10 knots. Basically, it's a light wind setup. Sun goes down at 7:37. Here is your 7-day forecast. 89 on Friday, 88 on Saturday, right around 90 for Mother's Day on Sunday and Monday, and maybe a few rain showers hitting your yard on Tuesday and Wednesday. 30% chance of that happening next week. And NBC 15 News at 6 o'clock is coming right back.
Of course, the big story, Phil Savage leaving as executive director of the Senior Bowl, but to quote Hamlet, there's something rotten in the state of Denmark here. They said it's a mutual parting of ways.
Yeah.
This happened pretty quick for it to be something like that. We will continue to follow the story.
I know you will. All right, Lance, thanks.
Not much cooling relief in our 7-day forecast. We're going to keep it in the upper 80s to around 90. The average high for this time of year, by the way, is 83. Oh, that would feel so cool. 88 tomorrow, 89 on Friday, and right around 90 for Mother's Day on Sunday.
All right, thanks so much for being with us for NBC 15 News at 6.
We'll be back with the very latest news, weather, and sports tonight at 9 on UTV 44 and at 10 right here on NBC 15.